This was sort of, towards the round 10, I think it was.
This is a changing of the guard match, I reckon. This is a huge match in the history of both teams.
I love this Reds team. I love this Reds. I mean, Morgs, could you go player for player without even... I mean, if I just asked you to name the entire squad without looking at them?
Yeah, well, you got Daly and Fanger up front. You've got Higginbotham there. You've got Summer having the world's best season of all time. Like, have a look at some of the guys. Guy Shepperton was absolutely outstanding. And Rob Simmons and Kevy there. There's some good players this Reds team. And then, of course, the two maestros at 9 and 10. Ant Fanger does so much for you. Rod Davies is outstanding. Digby has it. Binsey, Bo Robinson's there. Like, it's just this is the team that really changes the story. Of course, going on to win the comp, but changes the story of Queensland Reds.
Why was it called the Festival of Hate, Kevy?
I think it was just we didn't like each other. Probably the way it was. And look, there was a bit of niggle throughout the
Tom Carter.
Yeah, Tom Carter leading the charge. But look, it was always a game. And I think
cranky as I've seen Dean Mum.
This game was just, there was a lot of chat. I think probably some of the, you said the older guard, particularly the way Quaid had scored a try before. He scored all 19 points for us that day, but he'd scored the try, done the backflip as a celebration. Quaid just sort of does it himself, and scoring 19 points. And I just think this game was a real, big one for me personally, just because I'd never beaten New South Wales and I understood the importance. We'd lost 7 games to them since I'd started and playing. This was the first opportunity I got, and then obviously losing so poorly down there before, and then losing in the last minute the year before. There'd just been a lot of emotion to it, and I think it was a game for us that we just closed out again. That was the only try that was scored. There was no other try scored in the match, and it just went down to the death here again. Final play, big push him into touch, and there was probably a little bit of carry.
You would have been low-key humble here.
Yeah,
right.
You were about to go too. You thought about going at him too.
Knew where the camera was and everything, the Steadicam sideline.
Willie Chambers.
Yeah, so look, it was something I just remember getting a bit emotional actually after that, because it was something that we just wanted to get done. And then as that season was building, we'd sort of tick boxes that everyone said we couldn't tick, and this was sort of that next box. You couldn't beat the Stormers in South Africa, so we do that. We lost 40-6 against the Tars. You couldn't beat the Tars so then it was just we were 7 games on the bounce, and then reversing a 7-game losing streak, and then we went on a bit of a win streak against the Tars after that one. So
all the way to the title, baby.